We are here to demand better.
Local UAW 42's union election in 2024 was of historic importance, but sadly, over a year on, they are still negotiating a contract. While Volkswagen management is able to act as if nothing has happened, Volkswagen workers themselves are left to wait in the uncertainty of an unsettled contract, whether this be paying tens of thousands of dollars a year for family health care, foregoing family vacations or home buying, and working without guaranteed safety precautions.
The average age of a worker at Volkswagen Chattanooga is around 30 years old, and many of us have young kids. Most Volkswagen workers are living paycheck to paycheck, have accumulated tens of thousands of dollars in debt for medical expenses, even though we have insurance. Many are one missing paycheck away from homelessness. I have a worker on the shop floor whose time was incorrectly entered by a supervisor, and he became homeless this last Christmas and was forced to live in his car in the Volkswagen parking lot until he could save enough money for a down payment for an apartment. The cost of rent and single-family houses in Chattanooga is absolutely skyrocketed in recent years. I know this isn't news for anybody who lives here. It's hard enough for middle-aged folk, but for young folk getting started from scratch in this economy, trying to start a family, following the rules, and working a good job, our future is bleak at best. This is why we are fighting for a better life, not just for ourselves, but for our families. Our children shouldn't have to suffer because of corporate greed.
You can go on the Greater Chattanooga Economic Partnership website right now and see that Chattanooga is being sold as a place where manufacturing wages are 26% below the national average. If you then go and look up the cost of living in Chattanooga, you will find that it's somewhere from 8 to 11% below the national average. I am not a statistician, but that suggests to me that we're getting a raw deal. I say we, although I'm not personally an auto worker, because what these workers are fighting for is bigger than their single workplace and their bargaining unit. A contract at Volkswagen can raise the standards for workers throughout this region and beyond.
The workers I represent just want the American dream, not the corporate shareholders' nightmare we live in. The city of Chattanooga would benefit greatly in property taxes and revenue if workers could afford to live in the city they worked in and could afford to support the local businesses and industries of this city. By supporting the workers of this city, Chattanooga could experience a renaissance of culture and wealth being made not just by tourism, but by thousands who live and work here.
Wages from workers are almost always spent in their own communities, on other small businesses, on education, on healthcare, in ways that touch each and every one of us, which is why it is so important for all of us that they win, and that we as a community have their back.
Volkswagen is the single employer in whom we as a city and county have invested the most. It is the centerpiece, the keystone of our local economic structure. If we cannot expect that employer, Volkswagen, to provide a dignified standard of life, safety, security, and a path to the middle class for its workers, what hope is there for any worker in the region?
One of the reasons I'm standing here today is because the company has not been bargaining in good faith. They have utilized multiple union-busting tactics and have hired multiple union-busting legal firms for this entire negotiation. They spend more per hour, per attorney, than we, the workers, make in a week. These attorneys then tell us that we don't deserve the industry standard pay.
We hope this resolution will help Volkswagen to see that Chattanooga stands behind its workers, and we expect our corporate citizens to honor their obligation to meet in good faith and bargain with their democratically elected bargaining units. We expect our biggest employers to honor the workers on whom their success and their profits depend.
Please, on behalf of the workers of Volkswagen, have these council members vote yes on this resolution. Thank you.